SGA broke an NBA scoring record held by Wilt Chamberlain, but the MVP race is still far from over. Wemby is right there, but Stephen A. Smith thinks Jaylen Brown is the guy.
I am going to do everything in my power to give Jaylen Brown every benefit of the doubt.
I'll explain why SGA is not the MVP. I'm Doug Kezirian. This is Hard Pass. I absolutely think the MVP race is still very much wide open, even though SGA just broke Wilt Chamberlain's incredible record that had lasted 60 years, 20 plus points in 127 straight games. That's a year and a half straight of scoring at least 20 per.
20 points or more. He owns the all-time record.
Truly remarkable, but you can't lock up the MVP in mid-March, especially when there are just so many other viable candidates.
He's having the most efficient guard 30-point per game season since Steph Curry in 2016. In back-to-back matchups against Denver and Jokic, he has thoroughly outplayed him. And we just saw him hit a game winner at the buzzer.
Maybe that's true, but to me, first and foremost, it really depends on your definition of the award. Is it most valuable, best player, or is it the player having the best season?
What else does Shai have to do to be widely considered as the best player in the world? He won MVP last season. He won an NBA championship in a playoff run in which OKC was down to Denver. And Shai smiled, wasn't concerned, and came back and beat them.
One aspect of the conversation, when SGA does not play, OKC still wins a lot of games. Now, should that be part of the equation? Not sure. Speaking of fair, will the foul baiting narrative impact voters?
Well, he's incredibly clever, and he knows exactly how to draw contact, and it's all within the rules. And I don't have a problem with Shai. I have a problem with the rules.
SGA is truly incredible and worthy of votes. If he repeated as MVP, I would have no issue. There's no outrage here or anything like that. I'm just saying there's still a lot of time left in the season, and it's actually not Jokic that's on my mind. It's Wemby.
They've won 16 of their last 17. They are 8-1 against Detroit, Boston, and OKC, the top four teams, in the league right now as far as seeding.
To me, in terms of valuable, Wemby has the most impact on the game. He certainly impacts the point spread and the betting market more than any other player in the league, but that's not the end-all be-all as we know. But that component, value, is why Cade Cunningham and Jaylen Brown are very much in the discussion, and they have strong cases. Boston may not catch Detroit for that 1 seed, but Stephen A. is all about Jaylen Brown.
You got to make sure that somebody else definitively is more deserving, because I am going to do everything in my power to give Jaylen Brown every benefit of the doubt to capture league MVP honors. He is not going to be robbed of anything if I have anything to say about it other than his performance on the basketball court.
That last part referred to how Brown had issues with cops shutting down a private Beverly Hills event during the All-Star break in LA. To say that was a random reference would be an understatement. Either way, I personally think Jaylen Brown's properly rated right now, about 4th in the race. But Stephen A. thinks it's between him and SGA.
They're 1 and 2 to me. Then Jokic and wembanyama. It's up to them, because Jaylen Brown didn't have Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown had Derek White, Peyton Pritchard. That's what he had this year. Okay, that's what he had this year. And the brother went out there with a $300 million deal with the expectations and still averaged 29 and gave it to everybody. This brother deserves it.
This is when the discussion can just become noise, rattling off stats. No one is arguing that Brown's had a great year and is in part of the discussion, but number 1 votes? I don't see it. But don't just rattle off stats. Every candidate has stats you can point to. If anyone out east gets a number 1 vote, because the Pistons are the 1 seed, to me, it's Cunningham. And speaking of stats, I thought Chris Broussard raised a great point about Jokic.
If Jokic had never won or never averaged a triple-double, which he did a year ago, or if Russell Westbrook even had not averaged a triple-double and it was still just Oscar, even as the 6th seed, he might be the MVP because we would just
victim of
be
his own
like,
success.
yeah, we would be like, nobody's done the triple-double since Oscar.
Like I said, we have many viable candidates, but to me, Wemby is the closest in the race to SGA, but he can only miss 2 more games. San Antonio has 6 left in the regular season, so I think Victor is going to be okay. Now, do the Spurs have to catch OKC for the 1 seed in order for Wemby to get the award? I don't think so. I mean, they've beaten them head-to-head 4 out of the 5 times they've met this year. So I think that would be silly as long as they're close enough in the standings. But SGA is in the driver's seat. I just don't agree with the betting odds of minus 1,000. A lot of games are left. By the way, a couple cool nuggets courtesy of a heat check. This first one is from Boston Celtics play-by-play guy Sean Grandy. Another MVP night for SGA, not just the 35, 6, and 9 with 2 steals and 3 blocks. First ever to do that against Boston in regulation. LeBron did it in an OT game in 06. Shai was plus 14. That means the Celtics outscored OKC by 12 in the 9 minutes he was out. So that's clearly valuable in that regard. Wemby Central, this was great. I just learned that the only reason Wilt lost his 20-point streak because he got ejected 4 minutes into the first quarter. Yeah, that's hilarious. It's the only reason that streak ended at 126 games. If it weren't for that, who knows how long he would have gone, and who knows how long SGA's 20-point streak will go. Let me know your thoughts on the MVP race. Is it done? Is it SGA's award? He's going to repeat as the league MVP? Or do we still have some things to sort out and very much other candidates? Let me know who you think should be the MVP right now and who will be the MVP and who are the others. Does Jaylen Brown have as legitimate of a case as Stephen A. Smith thinks? Thanks. Please weigh in on the conversation and like and subscribe to the show, and also hype.